Hello, Belmont family. I come to you again today with some updates. It's been several days since we've done a live stream. The nice part about that is we haven't been doing them here the last 10 days because there haven't been a lot of additional questions. And the day to day here at school is running uh, just really smoothly. But we are aware that there's a question out there, and that is that question of what about the second 9 weeks? And we've spent a lot of time the last few days with all the announcements, building a plan for the second 9 weeks. And I'm going to share that with you today. And I'm going to read it because I want to make sure I touch on all the points I need to touch on. And then as we move into the weekend and you think of questions, you can send those to Leah and we'll gather those questions. And if there's any clarifications that need to be made, we'll come back on next week. I'm not sure what day. I have a conference to attend, a virtual conference. Quite frankly, those aren't terribly fun, but they are still important. But we will get any questions that are asked answered and continue to move forward. So, this past summer, when plans were being drafted for the start of this school year, families were given the option to have their children attend on campus classes or to learn virtually from home. At that time, there were approximately 180 students signed up for choice e learning. Since then, about 60 of those students have already returned to campus. Initially, the plan was only for the first 9 weeks with the idea that prior to the end of the quarter, a decision on learning options for the second 9 weeks would be made based on the COVID data. Time has certainly flown, and we're already at that time to have those conversations. I do want to remind you that the first 9 weeks was extended and it will run through October the 16th. This week, the admin team reviewed the state, county, and our own student and staff data concerning COVID. And at North Adams Community Schools, we have had 0 positive cases among our students. And we're excited about that. And we do credit that to your students doing a great job here at school with distancing and wearing masks. Those who have had to quarantine have done so due to exposure to positive individuals in their homes or in the community. As you know, on Wednesday, Governor Holcomb moved the state to stage 5 with a few exceptions, namely the continued requirements of social distancing and masks, for now at least through October 17th. When asked for his guidance, Dr. Ainsworth, our medical officer for the health department here in Adams County, he shared this. The schools and students, faculty, and staff have done a great job at preventing a spread within the schools. Given the current county metrics and the state of Indiana moving to stage 5, I feel it is appropriate to move as many kids back into school as possible. It is in their best interest to do so. Those words from Dr. Ainsworth. And again, I want to take a moment to thank him as he continues to be a tremendous resource for all 3 schools here in the county. With this information, we have determined that all students, with noted exceptions, will return to on-campus learning Monday, October 26th. This is the first day of the second 9 weeks and the first day after we return from fall break. If you have specific questions of how the transition back to school will happen, you need to reach out to either your child's guidance counselor or to the principal. And you can obviously pose questions back to us and we will get those answered. Additionally, we understand that we have a small number of students who themselves or those with whom they live full time are medically high risk for COVID-19. The parents of these children will need to talk with the building principal to discuss options and needed documentation to consider the potential that they might continue choice e-learning. Please understand that these exceptions will only be considered for those whose conditions make them high risk. for COVID-19. So what's the transition timeline look like? Starting Monday and through October the 9th, during that 2-week period, parents of Choice e-learning students will be notified of the plans to return to school on Monday, October 26th. Parents who wish to be considered for continued Choice e-learning due to having someone high risk for COVID-19 in their home, they need to contact a building principal during this 2-week period. Any needed documentation will need to be provided by the end of that time period. Then beginning October 12th through October 16th, the school is going to work on recreating all the seating charts and the bus charts and the seating charts for lunch and all the logistic needs that need to happen for the return of students. Then October 19th through the 23rd is fall break, and everyone, I'm sure, will be looking forward to a little bit of that time away from school. Then on October 26th, all the students are back on campus unless there is an allowable exception as I just described above. So for all families, here is the most up-to-date information about our procedures and policies in light of the state moving to stage 5 and the recommendations from the county health department. As far as masks, we will continue to require all students and staff to wear masks. I'm sure many of you will ask, how long will we have to wear masks? The best answer at this time is for the foreseeable future. The governor certainly extended his mandate through the 17th, but I just want to caution you that I wouldn't carve that date into stone because it's just something that is very fluid. None of us like them, but wearing them has allowed us to live life as close to normal as possible during a pandemic, as well as keeping our curve at school flat. Social distancing. Social distancing will be emphasized as much as possible throughout the day here at school, just like we've been doing since we started on campus back in August. Lunch menus will continue to be expanded with the ultimate goal to reach the exceptional level of choices students have come to expect from our food service department. We are certainly in this area looking forward to bringing things much closer back to normal. Visitors. We have not allowed any visitors to our school, but beginning Monday, November 2nd, so we will have been back for a week, and then Monday, November 2nd, our volunteers who have typically helped in the school, our military recruiters, our college representatives, and guest speakers will be permitted in the building during the day, provided they observe our masks and social distancing practices that we use for all of our staff. Athletic attendance. The number of fans permitted at athletic events will be evaluated regularly, just as it has been since school started, with the anticipation of expanding the numbers allowed to attend if county measures of the virus remain low. And I do know that Dr. Ainsworth put out information to the athletic directors also this week in terms of raising those levels again beginning over the weekend. And our athletic directors will work really hard to put those details together for next week. Field trips. We have not permitted those to any outside locations, and we will continue to not permit those through the second semester. We have not been having any convocations in the building for whole grades or an entire building. And at this time, we're still not going to bring those back. Community use of the facility will still not be permitted. Once we have all of our students back, we will continue to monitor our ability to keep the virus out of the building. If we continue to keep our curve flat, we will revisit the possibility of facility usage by community organizations. Parent-teacher conferences will happen, but they're going to need to look a little different this semester. Each building will be sharing plans in the near future with parents as to the process they believe is the best plan for the age of students in their buildings. So remember again that the first 9 weeks was going to end on the 9th, um, but it was moved to the 16th. So the 9 weeks is going to run right up to fall break, and the second 9 weeks begins October 26th. That is the day we will begin back on campus with all of our students. And I know I've shared a lot of different pieces today, so listen to this multiple times if you need to. And certainly, if there are questions specifically to the building level, reach out to them. If there's just a general question about some of this, reach back out to Leah, and we will provide answers to those questions. So, thanks again for listening, and thank you for allowing us to continue to monitor the data and provide education for our community. Have a great day.